海水不再是蓝，点缀它的看似缤纷，却全是人造垃圾拍打上岸。像是我现在在马尼拉湾的浅湾这边，我脚下踩的通通都是垃圾堆积起来的。刚沿路走来，除了大部分都是塑料制品，还有瓶瓶罐罐比较多，但因为附近是这个度假村，还有居民，像是可以看到很多鞋子，还有这种布类啊，还有这种像丝质类的东西，通通都堆积在这，而且还有海上的这些养殖作业，他们保利楼网跟渔网也会随着海流飘到这边。
那垃圾不可能去处理啊，那就可能就在当地就把它掩埋，甚至有的就把它焚烧掉，所以就会造成所谓的我们讲的2次的污染，也有可能。
然后这里主要都是洋流。
对，这边你现在看到这些，在基原上都是洋流飘过来的。那洋流飘过来很多嘛，在周围这边很多有住户乱丢的东西也都会，那有的会生那些养殖户的一些养殖的垃圾也是会有。对对对，那像你看这边，原则上就是就地掩埋。
海岸岩石、河土夹杂，是成堆的废弃布料和塑胶瓶。隔壁度假村和公共海滩几乎是用这块垃圾区当地盘界限。种种浪花堆出垃圾沙滩，在这样的海边，当地人很自得其乐，泡水、游泳，似乎习惯他们的马尼拉湾就该长这个样子。
像前面那边就有所谓的海上屋，或是甚至有小渔村，他们的东西都往海上丢，所以就会形成海岸线很多漂流的垃圾。那最头痛的就是塑胶的东西没有办法分解，所以在整个影响这个马尼拉湾养殖业就很大问题，就是所谓的垃圾的部分。你每天要花多少人力去清这些垃圾？
菲律宾海岸线36300公里，水产养殖占总产值40%。养虱目鱼、无锅鱼的主要产区，马尼拉湾沿岸是其中之一。
一般现在要过滤的，把水抽起来要3天，那以前大概1天甚至直接就可以用了，所以表示这一阵子这个海水有污染到，所以他们对养殖业来讲，一定要势必要经过过滤，它的水才有办法用。那再加上一些垃圾、漂流物很多东西，会甚至把一些抽水马达都弄坏了。
哦，是堵住？
对，堵住了，所以这个海岸线整个讲那里都被污染了啦。
海洋垃圾问题连带影响周遭经济运作，水质污染、设备损坏，在无形中垫高成本。根据统计，菲律宾人每天制造35000吨垃圾，光马尼拉都会区每天生产超过8600吨，只有70%会搜集到垃圾场或掩埋场。牛津大学数据报告，菲律宾向海洋排放的塑胶垃圾占世界总量的36%，是全球最大污染者。
You're seeing now less garbage because people are cleaning it up, but before, it's all covered of garbage of plastics.
Over in the sea?
From here in the sand, you'll step on the garbage or on the plastics, and even up to here in the sea. So from there, that shore up to there, so you literally walk on plastics and garbage.
游走世界各国 ，Diouf 是海洋生物学家，对自己家乡正面临的挑战最清楚不过。
Households are one of the source in industries as well. The problem is, even though you're not directly throwing it out into the sea, you throw it out, and then, for example, the floods came in during rainy season, and then they're washed to the rivers, to the canals, and these rivers end up in the sea. So the sea is like a giant basin for collecting all this garbage.
Diouf 曾在马尼拉湾沿岸记录垃圾清洗场景，珍贵湿地生态被老旧拖鞋、锡箔纸、塑胶袋给覆盖，足以杀死一片红树林。照片曝光，甚至登上国际媒体。
It's surprising, it's overwhelming, and it's sad as well because when, for example, if I volunteer for cleanups, my effort is not enough. The entire Manila Bay is so big, so cleaning it up is, not enough. So we really have to address the problems. The Philippine government already has a law to manage garbage, but we're not fully implementing it.
Manila Bay is a multi-use resource. So it's not just used for transportation, it's not just used as a port, but it's also used for aquaculture. Some people still use it for recreation. So indeed, if it's not managed and it's not addressed, the problem is not addressed right away. So in terms of improving the classification of the water, then all of those things will be affected.
污染问题的根由，除了90%来自居民的生活废水，周围排放的工厂污水和垃圾倾倒都是原因。
Ngayon, I'm a waste fighter. Oh my God.
海水不停把垃圾冲上防波堤，近滩的学生们边扫边躲。这是2018年的马尼拉湾被一波又一波的垃圾巨浪袭击。
This is before, that's the US Embassy. So you can see the garbage going to the rocks. And then when a big wave would come, it would go over the seawall.
污染的严重程度让菲律宾政府不得不大刀阔斧。从2019年开始，马尼拉湾修复计划养滩是其中项目。
All kinds of garbage coming from upstream, from the Pasig River. And you cannot stand here for 5 minutes because of the smell. It's stinky.
站在惊人垃圾海同个海岸位置，5年后经过整治，已经是都会区少数的海滩观光景点。
Before the Dolomite Beach, the E. coli here is in millions. Okay, that's why the stink is really very strong up to down there. But after we put the Dolomite Beach here, the whole stretch, which is 500 meters, we put around 7 monitoring stations. Okay, so from millions, it's already 1,800 MPN.
预计花超过3亿披索，约2亿台币来整顿。总长500米的海岸线铺上白云石磨碎的人造沙，再用灰沙填充，往海湾扩展60公尺，防止土壤侵蚀外，最重要增加海滩宽度，方便收集流入马尼拉湾的废弃物。
The fishing zone over on the left and on the right, it's still doing good. Okay, for example, last year more than 10,000 metric tons of fish have been harvested from Manila Bay alone. So it's still, the bay is still alive.
光500公尺长的 Dolomite Beach 得花上惊人的时间成本和经费。整条马尼拉湾海岸线长190公里，预计至少15到30年才可能恢复荣景。为了展现整顿决心，时任总统杜特地发布行政命令，加速复原水质，目标让马尼拉湾能恢复游泳、潜水等娱乐活动。因为这除了是商业渔场核心，还得顾及国际门面。
Because this is the central part of Manila, the capital of the Philippines. So people coming from the airport would pass here, foreigners, yeah, and they would see the place and also smell the place. Okay, that's number one is the image. So people, especially foreigners, would tell the world that the Manila Bay is stinky, it's polluted, and it's a shame, really. So that's because we implement the Manila Bay Rehabilitation Program. Manila Bay was again in the psyche of the Filipinos. That we have Manila Bay. Yeah, we have Manila Bay sunset. And it's our treasure. So we really have to clean our place. And we really have to enjoy it, not for us, but for our children.
挑战不可能的任务，很难一时半刻让偌大的海湾抹去脏污，是场和大自然的耐力赛。